I'm late.
It's fine.
You ready?
Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
Okay. I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch. Stop looking. Stop looking.
Jonah Jameson here. Spider-Man, a psychopath wielding powers he has no right to possess, trying to pass himself off as a hero. Well, let me tell you something, kid. You're no hero. Mysterio, that's a hero. You are a criminal, a miscreant, a masked marauder, a menace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There you have it, folks. Conclusive proof that Spider-Man was responsible for the brutal murder of Mysterio, an interdimensional warrior who gave his life to protect our planet and who will no doubt go down in history as the greatest superhero of all time. But that's not all, folks. Here's the real blockbuster. Brace yourselves, you might want to sit down.
Spider-Man's real name is... Spider-Man's name is Peter Parker.
What the?
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Big surprise. There's a deleted Spider-Man Far From Home post-credit scene with a whole bunch of extra J. Jonah Jameson footage of him just calling Spider-Man out, dragging him through the press. So we'll break it down. There's a bunch of Easter eggs, too, because they actually launched a legit dailybugle.net website where they're going to be posting viral teasers and Easter eggs for Spider-Man stuff. So we'll explain what's going on, what all those Easter eggs are. There's a new round of the giveaway for the Spider-Man Far From Home Blu-ray. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your best theory about who the villain's going to be for Spider-Man 3. So part of this J. Jonah Jameson clip is a bit of a Spider-Man 3 teaser because the footage he's using is of him running across the rooftops from the end of the movie. So how did he get that footage to put it in his video so quickly? It's probably just that this news broadcast is meant to be from the next day, because it sounds like he has a daily web show or a YouTube channel where he just posts these videos every single day. So he'll be dragging Spider-Man through the press with these videos for the next couple of Spider-Man movies. Remember, 2 more Spider-Man Tom Holland films, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 4, which might wind up being their Venom crossover. Because Venom 2 actually now looks like it's taking place in New York City, it'll be a big question as to whether or not they'll use this Daily Bugle net coverage stuff in the background for Venom movies or just for the Tom Holland solo Spider-Man films. I'm not expecting him to show up everywhere, all of a sudden all over Sony's live-action Spider-Man films, but because Spider-Man 3 is taking place in New York City, and it seems like they're moving the Venom franchise towards crossover and him as a character into the New York City area, it just makes sense that J. Jonah Jameson would be commenting on all this in the background, the same way he did during the Spider-Man PS4 game. If you haven't played that game in a while, we all kind of assumed that when he showed up during Spider-Man Far From Home, maybe they'll just continue to use the character this way, where you hear him just on broadcasts in the background or people on their phones as they're walking by on the street, listening to him bark about Spider-Man and just dump all over him while he's trying to escape whoever the next couple of villains are going to be. Right after Avengers Infinity War, there was actually a funny clip that he posted of this, doing the exact same thing before Sony ever contracted him to come back for Spider-Man Far From Home, where it's him doing J. Jonah Jameson reacting to the actual snap. Now keep in mind that they won't be able to reference the snap in Spider-Man 3 because of the Marvel split, but it's uncanny how perfect it works out.
I'm not sure if there are any words we can print that will help people move on from this unspeakable tragedy. So how about we sell some damn newspapers? First headline, New York City collecting dust. Nobody? No takers? Okay, fine. Let's just play the hits. Somebody get Parker in here to get some pictures of that chump Spider-Man's ashes. Headline, Spider-Man is a dumb idiot who's dead as hell.
Sir, Peter Parker died in the snap.
Died, huh? Parker, I don't know if you're looking down on us right now, but you're fired.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, that was incredible.
That is some lovely, lovely comic book writing.
If you don't get a knock on your door for that,
right?
Nothing will.
Come on!
That's just way too good, and that was actually way before he ever signed on to do his Spider-Man Far From Home cameo. And if you didn't notice it too, there's a Daredevil Easter egg in this post-credit scene too. The news broadcaster who introduces J. Jonah Jameson's broadcast also showed up as a news broadcaster during Daredevil, during the Avengers, Iron Man 3, Defenders, Doctor Strange, the Punisher, and also had a cameo in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield. So this is probably the biggest point of crossover for so many different franchises in the history of the MCU, next to someone like Nick Fury, who crosses over with everything. They go way deeper into this in the bigger articles for the dailybugle.net website that they created, and a lot of it's in service of the Sinister Six stuff that will be coming eventually. But like I said, probably only going to be a single villain for Spider-Man 3, and then they start ramping up for bigger Sinister Six stuff later on. But in the same way he's going on and on about how great Mysterio is, you have to imagine him doing the same thing about Venom when Spider-Man starts facing off against Venom, trying to make it seem like Spider-Man is the bad guy, Venom is the awesome guy, which just seems like it's ripe for memes, and then all the Carnage stuff that's going on too. But all the reaching in the world from him isn't going to make Carnage seem like a nice guy in the public press. The whole point of the J. Jonah Jameson inclusion at the end of this film, per Amy Pascal, Sony and Marvel, Kevin Feige's people, was that they wanted to tie the original Tobey Maguire films to the modern films, because you didn't really see J. Jonah Jameson during the Amazing Spider-Man era at all. They had Easter eggs for a Daily Bugle website that they were creating just like they did for Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man 3. It was going to be an Amazing Spider-Man 3 reveal where he shows up during that movie, but obviously they rebooted the franchise with Tom Holland, so you never got to see it. So you look at the dailybugle.net website, and some of these are actually pretty hilarious. So they have a Blip blog with a bunch of really short posts from people talking about coming back from the Blip. There's a high school sports coach that talks about people being blipped back in the middle of a sports game, a reference to the beginning of the film when the marching band blips back in the middle of the game. Mr. Harrington shared the story about his wife leaving him during the blip and using it as an excuse. I found out later that she didn't die, she just left me for someone else. There's another hit piece on the Night Monkey, so this is him following Spider-Man through the entire events of the film. So you have to imagine that he's been blogging about all this and the elemental stuff, Mysterio, since before the movie began. But there's even an interview with Ned Leeds on this website here, so Peter's probably going to be pretty pissed off when he finds out that one of his best friends has been talking to one of the people that's dragging him in the press. It just reads, American high schooler Ned Leeds is trapped in Prague's famous Old Town Square during the elemental attack and claims to have witnessed the Night Monkey's so-called, quote-unquote, heroics firsthand. Look, the first thing you gotta know about the Night Monkey is that he's definitely a different superhero than Spider-Man. He's like some kind of European knockoff, so it's just them making jokes about the Night Monkey in the lines of dialogue from the film, as if he were talking to J. Jonah Jameson about it on his website. There's articles for each of the elemental attacks with more comic book Easter eggs. So during the movie, obviously, they're created by Mysterio, but they had an Easter egg for comic book Hydro Man when Flash Thompson whips out his phone and is reading about Morris Bench, who is comic book Hydro Man. It just reads, the elemental known as the Hydro Man evaded capture by the Italian Coast Guard for the third day in a row, sparking rumors the U.S. government is covering up his existence. What does the Navy not want us to know about its experimental hydro generators? Why is Morris Bench not listed on any official documentation of any kind as if he didn't even exist? This doesn't just smell fishy, it smells like a cover-up. So because this is basically what Flash Thompson was saying during the movie, you have to imagine that he and some of the other kids are reading this blog by J. Jonah Jameson while this is all going on. There was a question because of the Marvel Sony split about the actors from Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home coming back. Remember, it's just people that originated in Marvel movies that they can't 100% use. Anybody that originated in a Spider-Man movie or is a core Spider-Man character is free to come back in Spider-Man 3. So the new Flash Thompson, who's still kind of a Spider-Man stan, might be going through an identity crisis because finding out that Peter, the kid that he hates, is actually the person that he's been loving this whole time.
He's inspiring. He inspires me to be a better man. Sup, dickwad? Thought you drowned.
They might have some more fun with him reading articles on this website while Spider-Man 3 is going on. But the bottom here, this coming soon Conspiracy Corner section, is probably the biggest part where they'll start teasing Spider-Man 3 stuff. You have to imagine J. Jonah Jameson using this to talk about villains in a really viral way, like there's mysterious sightings of a person that looks like Spider-Man in a black costume, which winds up eventually being the Venom character. So early prediction, they just wind up updating this every once in a while periodically over the course of them making Spider-Man 3. Eventually, they can use him to start teasing broader, big Carnage crossover and even Spider-Verse because J. Jonah Jameson understands the concept of the multiverse. And we don't really know if he's going to show up during Venom 2, but they're shooting Venom 2 later this year in London. The reason they're doing that is to get that crazy-looking Gothic architecture and make it look like really old-school New York. So that's why I say it seems like the Venom franchise is going to New York City in Venom 2. So everybody post your J. Jonah Jameson theories in the comments below. How do you think that they're going to use him during Spider-Man 3, and do you think that he'll show up during the Venom movies in the background too? It is crazy as it sounds, while I was finishing this video, they announced that Kevin Feige is going to make a Star Wars movie. That's right, Kevin Feige is going to have himself a Star Wars, so that will be my next video. And I'll name a giveaway winner when I post that next Marvel video. While you wait for everything, click here for that Marvel Phase 4 and Avengers Infinity Saga trailer, and click here to learn all about the Nova deleted scenes from Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.